God. Ask God.
Hey Scott, this is Gabe calling. My question is about secondary categories for products. I noticed a lot of people in my niche are adding their product to a second category, and the reason they do this is they submit their product to a category that's not very popular, and by doing this they get a number one rated in that category. What's your opinion on this? I think it might be good for conversion, but it does look a little strange if you're selling a garlic press and you add it as a second category in arts and crafts. I don't think that really makes sense. So I just wanted to see if you've ever done this and I guess what your opinion's on it. I really don't think it's going to last because Amazon's going to catch on to a lot of people doing that, but we'd just like to hear your thoughts on that. Thanks.
Hey, Gabe, thanks so much for the question. And hey, I don't know. I answered another question from Gabe. It might be the same Gabe. If it is, welcome back. If not, welcome. Yeah, this is a great question. It's something I haven't really talked too much about, which I probably should. But yeah, this is definitely something that could be a little gray hat, black hat, depending on how you look at it. And I do agree that if you do this in the wrong way, that it could not really, I'm not going to say come back to bite you. Well, I take that back. It could, because if you're depending on that to up your conversions, then it goes away and then it hurts your conversions, then I guess it could come back to bite you. But for those of you that don't really know what we're talking about, you've probably seen that if you type in, let's say, garlic press, and you see like the top 5 or whatever, you might see one or two there that has like a little orange bestseller badge. And Amazon will give that to anyone that has a bestseller ranking, okay, the number one ranking in a sub category or even in a top level category. It's just going to become a lot harder to get a top level category, meaning like, home and kitchens versus home, kitchen / utensils slash garlic press / stainless steel, right? So all of that, if you find that one category and you see that the one that's in there right now is ranking at 5,000 and your rank is 3,000, but you're not in that category yet, you can be asked to be put in that category. And then once you do that, as long as your BSR is better than the one that was number one, you'll almost instantly get a bestseller badge. That right there would be the legit way to do it. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, okay? And I actually did this where I drilled down. I took a whole day and I just drilled down into sub categories that I felt was going to be congruent with what I was selling, okay, and my product. The way that he's talking about, Gabe, that you're talking about, that some people are doing it, is they're just finding a really easy category that isn't even related to their product, and then they ask Amazon to put them in it, and then they usually will, and by doing that, you'll get a bestseller badge. And then the bestseller badge will usually say, like you said, like if you're selling a garlic press, it might be like into toys / plastic shovel / sand box or whatever, right? So you would think to yourself, like, that doesn't even relate. Why is that even good? Well, because a lot of people, they don't really look at what the bestseller badge is for. They just see it as a bestseller badge. So immediately the viewer, the customer, is scrolling and they see that bestseller badge. It gets their attention, and it also says, oh, this must be the best one because it's a bestseller badge. So me personally, I wouldn't go down that route. I wouldn't go like that black hat, gray hat type, shady, trying to manipulate the system thing. I would not do it that way. I would do it the legit way. Take the time, find categories that are similar to, what you're selling that could be, congruent. And they're out there. You just have to dig, because there's like I said, sub categories in your category that you're in right now, or even in another category that you feel like it could definitely line up with those people. Okay. So you just definitely want to do your digging. And then once you do, it's as simple as contacting seller support and saying, I'm already listed in home and kitchens. I want to stay there, but I want to also be added to this category. And then you just tell them the extension of that. You want to tell them that that's the category that you want to go. You want to just be very, very clear that they don't move you from your top level category and then put you in that other category by itself. I believe you're allowed up to 2 categories. And if you're only in one right now, you definitely want to add that second one just because you get a little bit more exposure and you have the opportunity or the chance to get a bestseller badge. But that's what I would do, okay? That's the right way to do it. And there's no repercussion on that. You're not going to have to worry about that bestseller badge going away unless someone comes in and does a better job than you, okay, as far as bestseller rank. So that bestseller badge is only going to be stuck to your listing if you are the number one in that category. So that's why it's really important to find a category that you feel like you can dominate for a long time, and then that bestseller badge will stay there. And some people have said, well, I don't think it's that big of a deal to have the bestseller badge. It doesn't hurt. I would want it, okay, because I want to make sure that I give myself the best opportunity to try and and to sell more product by using just a badge if it's not that big of a deal to get, right? So it's just a little bit more research to find that sub category that you feel like you can get that badge in. So I hope that's answered your question, and anyone listening. And again, I would just stress this: do it the right way. This way here, it doesn't come back to bite you, and you're not trying to manipulate Amazon's algorithm and their process and these features that they give us, because it will go away eventually, and they are going to clean things up. Trust me. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this, and that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.